Inspiration for your Make It Artsy lifestyle come from the outdoors and from techniques that have an element of serendipity. The first is marbling. Now there are all kinds of marbling and I've tried them all. You can use shaving cream, you can use chalk, there's traditional marbling. Today we're just going to use tap water and paint. So I have just a tin, pan filled with tap water, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab some of my marbling paints. I found that the first color that you put in shows a lot. So this is very precise. Boom, 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 boom. You just sort of have fun and throw it in. Now there is a slight alcohol kind of smell when you do this. So you're gonna go ahead and use this in a well-ventilated area, and you'll notice, of course, that I am using gloves as well. Now, how precise do you need to be? Well, you don't really need to be that precise. It's mostly just about having fun. Now, another question that people ask me all the time is, can you use any paint for this? And the answer is you need to use a paint that's specifically for marbling on tap water. Otherwise, it won't float. As you can see here on the surface, it's floating. The other thing is, how many colors should you add? Well, that's really a personal choice. If it were up to me, I would add all the colors all the time. I particularly like something shiny, so I'm gonna add this gold, which looks really fantastic. Now, it looks beautiful as it is, but it's not enough. To really do marbling, what we need to do next is take a wooden skewer or the back of a paintbrush or anything, and then not be precise. I'm just gonna run through here really quickly without thinking too much about it. Then I'm gonna take a sheet of, I happen to be using deli paper, which is literally what you get at the deli to wrap your sandwich in, but you could use any kind of paper you want. It's just my favorite paper for collage. You could use watercolor paper. Then I'm just gonna take a tag and pick up any of the excess paint that's floating on the surface to clean it up, and you can see it clings right to the tag. And this is the exciting moment. Voila! When we pull up our beautifully marbled paper. It looks really, really cool. And you can now play around with lots of color variations, but look, our water is completely and totally clean. And that's the thing that's so cool about this, which is you can pull one print. Let's say you just need one piece of paper for a project, and the only limitation is how big of a container you have. So if you have a giant container, then you can make a giant print. If you're willing to use, like a huge pan or like a turkey pan or something like that, you can get a bigger print. If you use a little bread pan, you're gonna get a smaller print. It's totally up to you. So now we are gonna just keep adding colors. You wanna work fast, that's the other thing. If you wait too long, the paint kind of stiffens up on the surface, so you don't want to think about it too much. You just really want to go. And again, here, boom, 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 boom. Don't think too much about how that's happening. Just do it. And then once more, let's grab some paper and throw it down on here. But now, instead of putting a tag through this excess, how about taking a button? So I'm just gonna drop my button, make sure it makes contact. I can actually probably fit a few buttons there. And then I'm just gonna make sure that the paper has made contact. Don't be afraid to get in there. Get in there with your hands. And now we're gonna pull it up, and I have my beautifully marbled paper right there. Really cool looking. And then I'm also gonna have fabulous marbled buttons, which is just really, really awesome. So of course, it's not just paper, plastic. How about marbling some wood? So let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna shake it out. And you can try different color combinations. If you're more of a monochromatic person and you wanna really stick to like warm colors, so let's do this one all warm colors. So red, gold, and that's a generally good thing to do when you're mixing colors, is to think about color families, what sort of goes together. We don't have an orange, but white can go either way, so we'll put it into that family right there. And white is nice when you're marbling on a dark surface. So again, I'm gonna drag through there, and again, sort of haphazardly, just having a good time. And then I have a couple different wood pieces. So I'm gonna go ahead and just place it in. place it in, and see how they just float right on the surface? It's really cool. Another one, and then I want to clean all this up, so I'm actually going to use a piece of deli paper on top to make sure that all that excess gets picked up. Actually, we talked about dark surface. Let's use a black tag to just go ahead and pick up some of that excess, and you can see how nicely that gold shows right on the edge there. This almost looks like a dragon or something to me. And then I'm gonna pick up, this is just cleanup paper, but oh my gosh, it's still so pretty. And then our wood pieces, I love it, and not just because it's a heart. But you can see how cool this is. The wood still shows through in the parts that don't have anything. It really looks awesome. So I'm gonna move this aside. And now I have a pail. So this is for when you want to marble a little bit deeper. So again, if you have 3D objects like Christmas balls or wood letters or anything like that, and you wanna make sure that you can get them plunged completely in, then you wanna use something that's a little bit deeper like this bucket. And this is a great use for yogurt containers and all kinds of things that you're upcycling. So again, I'm just shaking everything in. Now what I'm using here is I'm using some plastic mason jars, and I'm just gonna swirl this around. Now I have measured the water so it will only come up halfway on the mason jar because that's all I want. So I'm simply going to push the mason jar into the water. Then I'm gonna use my tag, clean up all the excess paint on out of there, just around there, and you can see it goes back to being just plain tap water pretty quickly. Pull out the mason jar, and how fantastic does that look? Now, you can see that I've just put some little tea lights into my mason jars. It's a great centerpiece, table decoration for a party, for a wedding, for anything like that. You can marble all kinds of things. I've marbled rocks. These are literally just rocks I picked up on the beach and marbled. Paper, buttons, Christmas balls. I love this necklace. I think it's super duper fun to wear. Really, really easy. So, I hope that you will give marbling a try. It's really fun and quick and totally addictive.